And here we are again with Rayman.
Hello, everyone.
It was the least original intro I've ever done in my life. Look at this. This is something I love as a kid. These little platforms, you can only activate them with a certain power-up, but if you just punch them regularly, they just kind of wiggle. I just love the little wiggles. The best quality, they're wiggles.
Oh, that's really neat.
Yeah.
I can't, off the top of my head, I can't think of like many other games that do that. Recently, I've been playing Paper Mario: Thousand Year Door, and like this other thing, like if you like jump on like another character or you hit them with a hammer, they'll react like they're in pain. So that's neat.
Ah, yeah, that is fun. I always loved it in Mario games, how you can just jump on characters' heads and they'll react to it. I miss that in, like, I tried it in every game I play, specifically 3D platformers, just to see if I can do it. And usually not. So, you know, step up your game.
I had in time does that thing where like if you hit them with an umbrella, they do like a little squeak. And then
Yeah. Like, at least do that. At least do a little squeak. Come on. Give me that. Gaming.
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 What?
Huh?
What the fuck was that, Mark?
It was gaming. You know, like Solid Snake.
Yeah, I got that, but why? Okay.
It would be so funny. What if just in Metal Gear Solid, you just have a call between Solid Snake, Metal Gear Man, and I don't know, another character, and he just says out of nowhere, he just says gaming. It's the simple things in life that entertain me.
Get better taste.
Hey, that's fair. I love this funny like wooden thing that they've built there. Like the hoodlums have this like fake GLOBOX there waving at you, and it just has like a gun was poking out through the mouth. So as it was trying to trick Rayman, like, don't worry, just step closer, give him a hug, pal.
I thought like the gun was going into the mouth, and I was thinking like, do we need to like have a a concern call or like someone like check up on like GLOBOX later?
Oh no. Man.
You know, I probably now that's a keeping in theme with the last episode and what I said. It's fine.
Very violent thoughts in your head. Gosh.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Speaking of things going into GLOBOX's mouth, you know what? I won't spoil that. And you can interpret that any way you want. Oh my god, I just realized how awful that sounds without context. Don't worry, you'll see.
No, you could. I refuse to believe you did not know that going in.
No, I didn't. seriously. That's the plot. This is a major plot point in the game that something goes into GLOBOX's mouth, but I can't say what it is because it's a spoiler and it's gonna happen in like 5 minutes.
This is like only. This is barely related, but that reminded me of this one story I saw on like Tumblr talk, where this like one woman brought their hamster to the vet, and because like the hamster wasn't moving in the cage, and they weren't eating or drinking or anything. But when they brought them to the vet, they were moving, and they were doing just fine. And they found out that the reason why they weren't doing anything was because the dumb little hamster, when they got out and like were found underneath the refrigerator, just ate a fucking magnet, and it was stuck in like its pouch.
Smartest hamster. Oh my god, that's amazing.
You know that one meme of like the train tracks like immediately diverging or whatever? I mean, like hamsters dying to like the craziest thing in the world.
Man, if I was a hamster, I would eat a magnet. Just, you know, just for the taste.
Why don't you eat it now, dear? Like, no one's stopping you. It's a free country.
Oh my god, I have magnets on my fridge. 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. Oh my god, the Shrek mod is still installed. I made that myself. I was just messing around with the textures. You can very simply like replace them with Rayman control panel, which is a very neat little application for running your older Rayman games.
I was wondering what the hell's going on with like Rayman's like color scheme or something.
No, that's a power-up. That's why he's green and red.
Oh, okay.
It's the little manual that Murphy is carrying around. That has the Shrek on it.
You literally said it last time, dear.
I know. I was just saying, like, I forgot that I still had it.
Okay.
I have no short-term memory.
I've noticed.
Who are you?
Alright. Man, this is a thing. Should we start this episode over? Like, we are getting nowhere with this.
What do you mean? This is good content.
No, it's not. It's just like kind of going in circles.
That's fine.
Okay.
You think the audience cares? Wait, they can't hear this, right?
Alright. We could talk. I'm sorry, I have nothing in my mind. The only thing I've been focused on recently has been like animation. and everything. So we can talk. You can talk more about your cartoon if you want.
Oh, dude, hell yeah! I briefly touched upon this last time, but so I've been making this little cartoon with my own characters, Sam Hex and Goose and L, and it's just a bunch of little critters, and they go on adventures. And I just made a cartoon. I made a flipping cartoon, and it's so exciting right now. I'm just waiting for somebody to make some cool music for it, and then it's gonna be out. And I don't know when these episodes are gonna be coming out. Like I've been editing some Rayman stuff every now and then, but this might come out after the cartoon is released, or maybe before. I don't know, we'll see. But I really hope people check it out, because I've worked on it for almost a year. And it's kind of crazy. It's not like super animated, it's just a bunch of little stills of characters moving around, kind of like a Paper Mario-esque kind of thing. And with some painted backgrounds, and I'm so proud of it. I can't believe I made it. It's a thing! Ugh.
Yeah, sorry.
It sounds, yeah, and you're so interested in it.
I didn't mean for the. That was so badly timed.
No, I get it. I'll just delete the source file and never upload anything again.
I'm sorry. No. Okay, so the reason I yawned was because I'm just like close to my sleep schedule. I've been changing it so I go to bed like at like 4 p.m. That's all.
I'm just zooming in on my boys. Look at the funny boys. These are the teensies. They're like the guardians of the heart of the world. They're very funny little critters. I love their king is Grand Minimus. He looks exactly like all the other ones, but he has the same crown.
Yeah. There's 2 people that have crown here.
Yeah, there's like, some of them don't have a crown, some of them do. It's the whole thing in Rayman 2 was that they only have one crown and they keep switching it. Like they keep switching out who's the king.
I remember that.
It's very cute.
Also, rip GLOBOX.
Yeah, rip GLOBOX. That was the whole thing. We completely just talked over it, but GLOBOX swallowed Andre, the Black Lum, like the evil guy, who's basically the main villain of the game. He's gonna be stuck in GLOBOX's stomach for the rest of this.
We didn't talk over it. You were gonna talk about it, and then you said like that's a spoiler, and then and here we are.
Yeah, well, it happened. It was literally on screen like minutes ago.
Okay, well, should we put like a seizure warning or something? Like Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah, it's kind of jittering a little bit. It should be fine. It's not actual flashing. Those are funny noises. Well done.
Recently I learned. Recently I didn't learn this, but like I recently watched a video that was talking about like banned Pokemon episodes, and one of the most infamous ones you probably already heard about it is the Super Porygon episode. Do you know about that?
I have no idea what that is.
Okay, so there's one episode of Pokemon the anime, like really early on in the series. It is that basically there's long story short, the episode like had this section that had a lot of bright flashing lights, and it was really bad, so I ended up sending like about 500 Japanese kids to like hospitals due to seizures.
No! Holy shit, that's awful.
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully most of them are okay. I don't know the rest about that. But anyway, I found out. So after that, like a lot of anime in the 90s will sometimes like have flashing light segments. I think it's because it's just a very cheap getaway, cheap way to cut corners and like to make action be seen as interesting. I remember Sailor Moon also having a scene like this.
Yeah, just for like impact frames and flashy effects. Just have something, literally flashing. Just 2 frames, done, easy.
Yeah. After that, and apparently Maxwell Adams, the guy who created, the director of Billy and Mandy, said like, okay, every cartoon nowadays goes through this machine that like can like detect if there's like something that can cause seizures, and so they have to tone things down. They can also include like toning down colors or toning down like sequences and stuff like that. I
see. Cool. So, well, I'm glad we have that.
Yeah, a wild situation. There's also a bit that was parodied. That episode was also parodied in like some episodes of The Simpsons. Like I think an episode of The Simpsons or some other cartoons at the time, because it was such an insane story. Yeah.
Oh man, that shit sucks. I'm glad things are better now. You don't see that in cartoons anymore, just the bright flashing lights, but I do remember that from my childhood.
Speaking of which, oh god.
Yeah, so it's not Seizure, but goddamn, these are the disco tunnels. They're very fun. It's just a little mini game where you get to go through this, basically. The music is very funky. It's a blast. Also, if I recall correctly, I completely fumbled this one. But we'll see. I do better on later levels. I was just so excited to play Rayman 3 again.
What acid trip is this? This looks like it's 70s.
Welcome to Rayman.
I would suggest that when you get to editing, maybe like, I don't know, mute the colors a little bit or something. I don't know.
Maybe. I can put up a warning. I mean, this has been in the game for years, and I don't think anybody has ever like had trouble with it. But just in case, I can put up a warning. Sure.
Well, I mean, like, also, you hear some stories. You don't hear a lot of stories about Sonic causing seizures, but I know that happened with my nephew at one point.
Really? Oh man,
or
that's unfortunate.
Not nephew, my cousin.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. So I'm just like saying for people that are a bit more sensitive, epileptical, like it's probably best to just be on the safe side.
Sure. That's fair. I do love these stages. It's very fun. There's even one of them where you can see a model of the Star Trek Enterprise fly by in the background in one of these funky disco tunnels for no reason. There's just a fucking Star Trek ship. I guess that's canon to Rayman now.
It is. It's canon to every universe.
Yes.
This is reminding me a bit of like Psychonauts for some reason. Like I can't remember if there's a specific. Maybe it's like Mila's like level in the first game. You know what I mean?
Oh man, I never played the entirety of the first game, so I don't know, but I know there's some very funky, like, fun visuals.
We did play it together, so, like, you probably at least remember from that sequence. But, like, you roll a ball through this tunnel to, like, get a bunch of stuff. Okay, yeah. By the way, something I found, I didn't know about this, but apparently Psychonaut was actually a term coined all the way back in the 70s. It basically refers to people who take, like, drugs, like shrooms. To explore your mind, man, like unlock your third eye, blah blah blah, all that shit.
That's fun. Yeah, they flippin' would.
Which it makes a lot of sense, like in the Psychonauts games, how there's sometimes like hippie shit that goes on, like the character designs or like some aesthetics.
Yeah. Right, Mia. Oh my god, I forgot her name. Like, I forgot that name was attached to that character. In my brain, I just had to connect something real quick. Like in Psychonauts too. But I remember the level now. It's all disco-y and fun. That's definitely very much like the disco tunnel in this game. I get what you mean now.
Yeah,
so this forest world is so pretty. I love these environments. This was definitely a huge inspiration also for the some of the backgrounds in my own short, like the swirly clouds and just the architecture. With funny swirls on it, and it kind of made it look like it's all constructed out of stuff. I really enjoy that aesthetic.
I think with a lot of fantasy stuff, especially stuff in that kids, swirls are a pretty common element or a common like design feature. Like My Little Pony does this too, but like a lot of characters just have swirls or background and stuff. I don't know. Swirls are cool.
Swirls are cool as hell. Heck yeah. So I never noticed this as a kid, but there's these little items lying around that you can punch, and then some points or lives come out. They're actually piggy banks. They're supposed to be like little wooden piggy banks. It's very cute.
They do not look like that.
If you zoom in on them, you can sort of see that there's a nose and there's legs. It's you know.
If you look at it from a certain angle, like I guess it's there.
If you look at it with your eyes closed in a dark room from 12 feet away, it sort of resembles a piggy bank.
This is like this is a discussion that a lot of people have with cryptids. It's like,
yeah.
I saw this thing like in the middle of the night, and like it was 10 feet tall and had like bright red eyes and all that. But yeah. While we're talking about Psychonauts and everything, I can talk a bit about something I've been working on. It's not enough. I'm not at the point where it's gonna be its own cartoon. I mean, I've done a little bit of animations. You can put one of the sequence I did today up here if you want to, dear.
Sure. If you could send me the specific one, I'll make sure to put it in.
I know so. After all, the super duper party pony, that pony is me. I always knew that was the kind of pony I would be.
That's something I've been working on a little bit, or just been kind of brainstorming. We're just having fun with it. Learning to animate with these characters, I've kind of done with my experiences with therapy and this concept called IFS. IFS stands for Internal Family Systems, and basically it's the idea of how there's many different parts or sides of a person, and they come out when like you need them to do something. Think of it sort of like how Inside Out, the emotions have to do something different, or standard sides come in when they have to do their own thing, like creativity or logical stuff like that. So I've been kind of like been toying around with that. The character Patchwork is meant to be like my playful side, and He's the one that causes joy and also like distraction when like I don't know, there's issues going on and there's nothing I can do about it. Sometimes a little too much, but sometimes it does too much. But that's also like a main theme I want to go for is that balance of trying to find it between all these characters because they all have a purpose. It's just that they always go way too far in their own direction. So you need to find a way to like even it out.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing about like IFS is that it basically tries to explain that there's like different sides to you, but also they all have like a certain function. But if they're off balance and they're not quite working on a thing they should be working on, then that causes issues. But you can sort of try to like understand them and.
Oh my god, you're a superhero.
Yeah, that's so cool. I love these transformations. Like, there were actually earlier concepts of these like super power up thingies, but they looked like way different. They basically had Rayman actually transform into something entirely different. But
I saw the GLOBOX with a target on him, and I thought that was like meant to be Captain America for a second. So it was like,
Captain Glob America. We trust him.
Anyway,
oh yeah, photo mode. I forgot about this. I accidentally activated photo mode. But they were gonna have these designs that look radically different from the regular Rayman. But eventually they ended up just doing like these silly recolors with a slight additions of like the big fists or giving him like super big helicopter hair. And I don't know which I prefer. They later revisited that concept in the DLC for Mario & Rabbids Sparks of Hope. Where they redesigned like these power-up forms, or well, 2 of them, for Rayman specifically, and they made him like way different and just changed his appearance a lot. I like both interpretations of the concept a lot, but it's just interesting to me how they ended up with something very different from the original concept art.
That's a cool.
Yeah, I love the development of Rayman games. I have this The Art of Rayman book. Which is it's entirely in French, but there's some fan translations of it. It has so much pretty concept art, even of the cancelled Rayman 4 projects, because there's multiple, like plural, Rayman 4 projects. They're all very interesting. Little boat in the water.
I have like 2 art books. One is for Mario Odyssey. The other one is for an artist I follow, Sims. And I don't know why. I just never read them. I have them, and I always mean to read them, but then I don't. I feel bad.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad. It's just that, like, man, like, there's some good stuff in there. I should probably, like, go through it eventually.
Yeah, man, that's me with the flipping Mario Odyssey art book. I've been wanting to read the whole thing, but I just can't. I don't know. I get distracted too quickly. Like, what the heck happened to my attention span? I used to read all the time as a kid. Then again, I was in school and I was insanely bored. But you know.
I also remember seeing someone mention, that kind of mindset, like, where you read all the time as a kid. But also, when you're a kid, you weren't as critical of the media you consume. So I think it's a lot easier to just, mindlessly read something.
That too. Yeah. You're right. Because I make stuff myself now, I get too analytical with the stuff I consume as well. Because I'm constantly looking for it, like, what makes it good? What can I use in my own stuff? Like, that's always in the back of my mind. Yeah. Just want to turn off your brain every now and then and just consume something,
I have these things I call them potato chip shows. But basically, it's a show that you just put in the background and you're not really paying attention to. And it's engaging enough. But it's not like a meal show, okay? It's not something you put that much thought into. Like, Family Guy is a potato chip show. I guess another term can also be like popcorn movies.
Yeah.
For that.
I get what you mean. That's I have something that's in between. Like, I can just put one of those flipping Mickey Mouse shorts on, like the Paul Rudish ones, and I just, like, at first it's just like, I'll just have something neat in the background, something fun, and then I just end up watching the whole thing again anyway, because I'm just mesmerized by the animation. It's so fucking good. I just love the wacky expressions and the music and the everything. It's just, mwah, beautiful shit.
Oh yeah, didn't they end that cartoon recently?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's been going over for like a decade. It was gonna happen eventually.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Anyway, that's the end of today's Rayman 3 episode, and there's gotta be more, probably. Thanks for watching. I'm sad now.
Also, something I want to mention with the IFS thing is that I wanted to bring up comparisons to like DID, which is dissociative identity disorder, or more commonly known as multiple personality disorder. I think that can also help people like recognize what those 2 things are independently.
I see. Okay, well, I'm still recording, so I can just leave this in, like this little bit of you mentioning DID. Maybe that'll help for people.
Recently, like last decade or 2 ago, I don't know, They changed the term multiple personality disorder to dissociative identity disorder. And that's due to the more understanding that it's not just like separate, complete entire beings. It's all the same person. It's just different parts of them that all showed up at different times to, as of some way, trying to like made to be protect the person, the like, I guess the owner of the body, if I could put that in a way correctly. Yeah. And so some ways with like treating that can also be recognizing there are also different parts of you and how to work with it. But
Right, right.
I don't know enough about DID, so don't take all this with a grain of salt. Go to a therapist if you are dealing with that.
Yeah, just look into it if that sounds interesting to you. Alrighty.
Yeah. All right. Bye bye.
Bye bye. This is a weird noise.